Hello people, welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm going to be talking about the possible end of Google. Possible, hard to say. I think I have my volume on tonight. Yeah, I do have my volume on. And so the possible end of Google, some of this, I'll go over this document not in depth. I'm not a lawyer, nor have I played one on TV, and some nanobot vaccine stuff and some Antarctica stuff. Meanwhile, though, before we go and do that, I have a raffle that is full. I have another raffle that's only 2 spots away from being full, and I'm very excited for the day that I'll have my website totally going. Yeah, I've been a little lazy this week. Well, it's Christmas, come on, right? It's okay. I figured out my volume problem with Discord, so that's exciting. Turns out there's this volume you can adjust from your computer, and for some reason it was turned way down, and it gets regularly turned down even though I don't turn it down. It's very lame. So if you can hear me, say hi. If you don't want to say hi or you got booted, it says I've only got 1 viewer right now, even though it said I had 4 a minute ago. Can anyone hear me? I don't know. I think it does this on purpose. It wants you to feel bad that no one's here. Oh, there's Patricia. Yay. Good. It tells me, it'll show me I have viewers and it'll drop down to 1, which is me. That means I'm the only viewer. And I kind of find that hard to believe that I'm the only viewer, but it's possible. But YouTube wants us to believe that, so. Okay, I'm going to show this. This is the raffle I'm about to draw. Hey, Patricia. And it is a 1 ounce Trump coin. I couldn't get the best picture of it. So that's why it's small. When I say I couldn't get the best picture, I've got it in plastic. And then I try to pull it out of plastic, and then I get too close, and then I like, whatever, it's fine. So it looks great. It's in great condition. And these are the 10 people. So without further ado, I wish the best of luck to all my people that are on this list. Nate, Brian, Philip, Patricia, and that's it. Nate, Brian, Philip, and Patricia. So drum roll. Not that good at that. I try though. 4 score. Nate. Seriously, again? Yeah. I gotta send out a lot of stuff to Nate right now. Good job, Nate. Congratulations. You are winning massive amounts of things. So there's Nate's and Patricia. Forgive me that I haven't sent yours out yet. Matt, if you watch this later, I haven't sent yours out yet. It's Christmas, and the post office box is madness. I'm sure you understand. Pure madness, the post office box is. So this one up here has only 2 spots left. It's an iguana, and a Fiji iguana. It's a 2015. It's in this Surdy lock. It's called the Surdy lock by Scottsdale Mint, where it's sealed. Well, it's sealed by the plastic, and then they put this cardboard, kind of credit card size thing on the outside. It's got this scanner deal, and it gives you the number of how many there are out of how many. So this is number 16951 out of 75,000 minted. So it's kind of cool. There's only 2 spots left. Hey, Benz, I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here. You're really not that late. I'm just talking raffle stuff. It's usually the stuff that people probably fast forward when they come watch later. Okay. Congrats to the winner, Nate. Oh, and I wanted to mention this because it's what I'm going to talk about. The accusations against Google that I put in a link here. And I linked back to this video that I made 8 months ago, glory to God, with a bunch of information about what's going on with the AI, how it's totally going to be weaponized, but not just AI, quantum computers. So it's all on here. Anyway, Matt, I haven't shipped out your winnings yet because it's Christmas, but I'll get it out probably right after. I'm going to give you guys a link. This is a great video. Mr. Algorithm here. I've given him a shout out a few times. He made a quick video to show you if you want to search literal actual results that you're supposed to be. Oh, let me move this over. If you want to search literal results that you're supposed to be seeing on YouTube, he talks about it in this video, how to do that. So you can watch that, and it's really easy. And then what he did is, he says, I usually like to type this in when I'm doing the search, and somebody said, could you please just give me that, which you use. Where is it? Oh, here it is. There's the full, what he types in. And he tells you how he types it in on a YouTube search, and it gets rid of all these mainstream things. It won't pull up any of these. And you can do the search in to find exactly what you want. Now, of course, it's not going to pull things up, but it's just getting around the search algos. So Mr. Algorithm, there's a link there in the chat box, did a video explaining how to get the correct searches. Yeah, so he wants to do a search for something specific. He puts these minuses in there, and that gets him the search that he wants to find the stuff that he actually wants to see. I don't remember where he shows it. There it is. So you put, it seems like a lot, but he's got a copy and paste down here under One for Liberty's comment, which I should probably tell him to pin. Can you pin this comment, Algo? Anyway, all right, I want to mention that I have a D Live. I've got 7 followers now. I don't have any videos going on there, but I do have links to my Twitter, to my YouTube, to my website, to my Gold and Silver website, and to my BitChute on here. So I've got something put together that does update as I update these, which I do frequently. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the topic at hand. I usually use Brave browser, but I switched over to Dissenter, the Dissenter browser. I'm using Chrome for you guys because Dissenter doesn't show up on my streaming, but Dissenter is from Gab, and I have Brave, but I don't use it anywhere. So anyway, back to this article, or just starting with this article. I call it an article. It's an article of basically, we call it the complaints. Very interesting stuff going on here. So it's against, this is the plaintiffs and the defendants, and basically, yeah, you can see the plaintiffs, the defendants are obviously going against. It's very interesting, the complaints. So all these people are the plaintiffs. These guys are going to have to defend themselves. Neuralink, Facebook, DeepMind, Alphabet Inc., Larry Page, I've talked about in my Who is Q video. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. So that is interesting. Okay, misuse of artificial intelligence, cybernetics, robotics, biometrics, bioengineering, 5G, quantum computing technology, endangering the human race with the misuse of artificial intelligence technology, transfer of AI weapon technology to China, that's got to be complicity in genocide, China, violation of Article 1 of the Genocide Convention, and Article 2 and Article 3, and Article 4, social engineering of the human race with artificial intelligence, biodigital social programming of the human race by use of their biometrics and artificial intelligence, brainwashing humanity with AI coding and algorithm bias, cultural genocide by misuse of artificial intelligence. By the way, I'm going to mention this. This guy last night said, oh, we don't have a computer. Nobody really has a quantum computer. We don't have a quantum computer. Nobody has a quantum computer. That I was talking about him last night from Red Pill's channel. That guy right there, that doesn't even realize this is obviously out there, because this is a complaint against Google and Facebook and DeepMind and Alphabet Inc., Neuralink, Larry Page, Tesla, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and the rest for having a quantum computer. So obviously they're using them. Okay. Anyway, I know he's saying whatever group he was with didn't have a quantum computer, but that also something didn't ring true about me. And he kind of was like, well, nobody really has quantum computers. Okay, they do. Brainwashing, cultural genocide by misuse of artificial intelligence, breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, defamation, negligent infliction of emotional distress, negligent creation of nefarious AI technology, that's quantum computing, masking genocide with AI technology, fraud and intentional deceit, negligent misrepresentation, religious discrimination, failure to engage in interactive process, AI censorship, and banning quote, AI trump China and the weaponization of robotics with 5G, and masking artificial intelligence dangers to humanity with use of artificial intelligence. AI algorithm misuse and AI algorithmic biometric manipulation, breach of privacy, violation of the Nuremberg Code, creating an artificial intelligence system that can recognize and decode if humans are resistant, creating an artificial intelligence system that can recognize and decode if humans are resistant to artificial intelligence. So this is saying that they've used quantum computers to do horrible, harmful things, and it's been weaponized against humanity, and as far as not just a social genocide aspect, but a literal genocide, and blocking people who could possibly be against this. Anyone who's critical of it or against it is going to recognize those humans and deal with them in a worse way. And as much as you guys probably want to say, well, you know all this, here it is in an actual lawsuit in the state of California, filed December 16th, with the words quantum computer, 5G, genocide, and all the rest that I read there. I'm going to read the whole thing to you. So that's a pretty big deal. And you may recall that 8 months ago, I made a video. Well, on December 31st, I put out my first Who's Q video, and I mentioned that guy Larry Page, along with a lot of people involved in this. And then I did the video, Quantum Computers, Angels and Demons. And I have that up here. This one. And I talked about this because you got this guy right here, Gordy Rose, who wants to invite demons into this world via quantum computers. And he talks about the first one that he made, G-Wave was the first one that he made. And when I say he made it, I mean he didn't just make it by himself, but he was the first one that you could fit in a small area, not like a CERN or a Hadron Collider style sized computer. Merry Christmas, and hi Linda, and yeah, up in CT, which I assume is for Connecticut. So then he goes on in this. This is not just me that's covered this. Other people have covered this, but I happen to compile it personally in my own video. Then he goes on to a company called Kindred that he got into, and there's this part where he's talking about how he wants to introduce these what do you call it, he's more excited when he's talking, and he says he wants to bring these creatures, these Lovecraftian creatures, and so he says these people think that D-Wave is responsible, and CERN, obviously they're not. He talks about how it's just going to take over all of humanity. And yet he's saying he wants to go down this road. He's saying he wants to organize this and make this happen. And then he goes on to talk about how he wants to hire, is there any demonologists that want a job? So he's admitting what he's trying to do, 100% admitting what he's trying to do. There he is, where he talked about the Lovecraftian creatures. He goes, the ancient ones, he calls them. And he wants to bring back the ancient ones, the Lovecraftian creatures of old. And then here's where he says, let's see, forward. Here's where he says they're hiring demonologists. I mean, just kidding, software engineers to join us. And so yikes, red flag, right? And I talk more about him, and I talk about the fallen angels coming to Earth and the hive mind situation that we saw. I took this from SGT. He gave me the permission to take this little bit from him with, what's his face? I can't think of his name. You can tell me if you want. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But the guy behind Google talking about that if you get more than one search result, it's a bug. It's a problem with the Google search if you're getting more than one search result, which is frightening because that's what they want, is for us to only see one search result. That's how they've been trying to make it, is so we can only see one search result. But he's saying that that's a problem, and they're trying to fix it so that there is only one search result, and that's a bug. And this was years ago. I mean, he looks pretty young in that one. I, for whatever reason, can't think of his name. Don't care really that much. And then I go on and talk about the hive mind stuff. And the reason that it's all connected is I had just been talking about Q right before this, one of the Q drops in the map, and I know I don't have a lot of Q experience, but basically also Q says we're fighting this against flesh and blood, and we're not fighting against flesh and blood, we're fighting against principalities of this present darkness. And I go on to talk about AI worship, and they're trying to build churches to worship AI. And so something else I saw, I think I saw it on Gonza's Face Like the Sun Twitter, that was said, well, with all this technology, we won't even need to pray or worship a God. We'll just have it. We'll have such a perfect life with all this stuff. That this guy works for Google, and he's part of this AI church, the way of the future church in worshiping AI. So this is, to me, just confirmation that is certainly happening, that it's now. I'm pretty excited that there has been a lawsuit, because I don't know where it's going to go or what is going to happen, but it's been filed. It's, who knows, we just got to watch where it goes from here, but this is a pretty big deal. There's a lot going on here. Anyway, I think, yeah, we just gotta watch. I really don't have anything else to say, but the fact that quantum computers and genocide are being mentioned in this, and the social programming of the human race, it's not just America, the whole human race. So I was gonna look up this Nuremberg Code because I didn't know what it was. It said, for the set of guidelines for determining what constitutes a war crime. Interesting. The Nuremberg Code is a set of research ethics principles for human experimentation created as a result of the Nuremberg trials of the Second World War. And this thing is alleging here violation of that Nuremberg Code. Wow. So that's a big deal, that they're experimenting and as I stutter, I can't talk. They're experimenting enough that it's breaking the Nuremberg Code, which is the ethics determination for which you can't experiment on people because of that war and what Nazis were doing to human beings. So, yikes. I'll give you the link. You can read through it. It's all here at the top. You got the plaintiffs all listed here and the defendants all listed here. So you can read through all the legal jargon if you want to. I just kind of like gloss over if I get too far into it. I thought the complaint was enough for me to see what people are filing against and what the AI use is being done from people like Google, Facebook, DeepMind, Alphabet Inc., Neuralink, Tesla, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, I think, is behind Google. I don't know. Sundar is maybe Google. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. John Doe's 1 through 29. Okay, so this is John Doe's 1 through unlimited. Lawyers and journalists tortured and killed in China. Tibetans, Christians. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of people trying that are. Hopefully it's a big deal. I hope it's a really big deal. So there's the link. Take your best shot at it. Decode it. Whatever you want to do. Get on my Discord and tell me what you think. So I wanted to talk about this great little vaccination of nanobots. It's not exactly a vaccination. It's a vaccination history. It's a little pad that they're talking about putting under the skin that delivers through these little needles nanobots. That's good, right? This is good, and it's going to keep a history of your vaccines. So talk about B system. This is clearly a B system technology because it's monitoring what you're doing and not doing, if you're not getting your vaccines and if you are, and it's putting nanobots in your body. So the implications are far and wide on this. It could be that the nanobots could do something to you. I'm not just talking about kill you. They're not going to just, you didn't get your vaccine, so it kill you. It could create a disease in you, a disease state. She got sick with this measles because she didn't get her measles vaccination. You can see that right here. Look, this little thing is sending us back information, and we can see this person didn't. And so could it create a disease in you? Plus, don't do it. Just don't do it. But injectable nanoparticles that reveal private information about a patient could be ripe for misinterpretation and rumors. That's just one of the small things. But they're saying they want to use it to keep track of your vaccination history. And they want widespread adoption. The goal is widespread adoption. people to be comfortable, you know, but it's somewhat comparable to tattoos. The marks themselves are nothing like traditional ink, though, but they've got a little grid with 1.5 millimeter. Wow, this ads are changing a lot of stuff, and it's really annoying. Oh my gosh. 1.5 millimeter long spikes that hurt less than typical injections. They're made up of nanoparticles that are undetectable in the visible light, so you can't see them, glowing only when viewed with infrared. Over the course of 2 minutes, the nanoparticles will diffuse from within the microneedles to a shallow layer skin where they're deposited in a simple pattern of dots, each smaller than your garden variety freckle, and the patch is then removed, leaving the subtle mark. It's a mark that can still be imaged after being exposed to the equivalent of 5 years worth of sunlight. I think that this is interesting that they compare it to tattoos, because I think this is one of the reasons they've been pushing tattoos and piercings and things like that for so long, is pushing us into this, what I call, again, the slow, just this slow getting used to these ideas of accepting, you know, marks, lots of different marks, and then going, oh, this is just another tattoos like mark, and it's got my nanobots in it, and that's totally great. And it'll tie to the record, the vaccine record, ties the record to the person, can never be lost, can never be counterfeited. From there, reading the dots becomes like a lot like scanning a QR code, though invisible to the naked, so you'll just be able to scan it, whatever design they make, and then when viewed through a smartphone fitted with an infrared filter, the team, oh, hold on. Though invisible, oh, they could see it with the infrared filter on a smartphone. In theory, each symbol could denote a different type of injection. Oh, so you get one of these every time you get your vaccine? Oh, creepy. Even with multiple shots, the marks are small enough that your whole array of vaccines could fit within a couple inches. Don't worry, this mark won't be bigger than your forearm. Although nanoparticles themselves don't contain medically relevant drugs, they don't contain medically relevant drugs, but it sounds like they contain drugs. The researchers safely delivered them to rats alongside a polio vaccine, which still confers protective benefits. That's the ultimate goal, is to administer the medicine and the marker in tandem. What did I say about a vaccine? What did I say about a vaccine and nanobots? Does anyone remember what I said about a vaccine and nanobots? I mean, you know, it's back a few videos, but I think it was this one, invasion, something about invasion of the body snatchers. I think that was the one where I talked about the vaccine and the nanobots. So I'm not saying, I say God brings me the truth, and I don't get to be praised for that. Glory to the Lord for what he's brought me. So, but I'm not happy about it, and I'm like excited, like, yay, I'm right. I'm so excited about this vaccine patch, but it does confirm what I've been saying. So in that instance, I am excited. I wanted to show you this article about the Antarctica bombshell that scientists make discovery unlike anything they've seen before. This guy is the largest of Antarctica's. This guy, Lake Bostock. He was in that movie. He was in that movie Antarctica and the Blob. I don't know. Anyway, Lake Vostok is the largest of Antarctica's almost 400 known subglacial lakes, located beneath Russia's work station in the same name in East Antarctica. In 2015, Russian scientists drilled a borehole into the ice, obtaining a sample of fresh water untouched for millions of years. And in this YouTube channel, exposed forms of life never seen on Earth. The documentary said when scientists decided to look under the ice, they were surprised not only by what they saw surprised not only ordinary people, but the researchers themselves. I think ordinary people wouldn't be surprised because we don't research this stuff. I think we'd all be like, yeah, so what? Turns out under the ice of Antarctica, there's a whole lake, and it's quite large. Yeah, no kidding, because it didn't used to be covered with ice. Isn't that crazy? The depth of the reservoir reaches about 1,200 meters, and since the reservoir was discovered near the Russian polar station, Vostok, the lake was also given the same name, Bor. Okay. Anyway, for this reason, researchers did not expect to find the smallest signs of life in such harsh conditions. The temperature reaches 89 degrees Celsius, negative 89 degrees Celsius, and the ice pressure exceeds the pressure of the moons of Jupiter. How do they know that? They don't. And sunlight never breaks through. Few organisms living on Earth can survive in such an adverse environment. However, scientists still managed to find life in such extreme conditions. At the time, it was complete blah, blah, blah. It was completely... Okay, he said they discovered a new type of bacteria, and this is only 86% identical to living things on Earth. I don't know what that means. But anyway, they get to a point where they say something about Mars. However, the discovery was not just useful for understanding Earth. It may mean that life on Mars is hiding below the surface too. I don't know how it means that, unless somehow they think the Earth and its crust and everything it's made of resembles Mars. I can tell you that this is a drawing, cartoon stuff. So the reason was because the ice was isolated from the rest of the world for several millions of years. So the bacteria found there were developed over separately from all organisms, and they're trying to tell you that evolution is a thing, and so that's why this matters somehow. So there's probably some basic signs of life on Mars because evolution, right? So, hey, Rockman, glad you could make it. Sorry, I'm not really reading the chat because I'm reading the articles, but basically I always say basically. Sounds like they're just comparing something in Antarctica to Mars, which I find kind of funny because it's not. How do you compare it to Mars if you've never been there? And you don't even know if the crust is similar. Why would it have the same bacteria? Just because we found old bacteria that supposedly precedes human existence? Whatever. I mean, didn't they used to say that about the glaciers, that the glaciers were creating, like, when as soon as they melted, they were putting out, like, new viruses and stuff? Shouldn't they not be going down there and finding new bacteria in this instance? Or are they just going there so they can say, look at this bacteria we found? Oh no, global warming is melting the ice caps of Antarctica, and everybody's going to break out with like a new illness going to kill everybody. I don't know if you guys know this, but what the New World Order, aka the United Nations, wants is less than 500 million people. And there's something like 7 billion people on the planet right now. And with 7 billion people on the planet, how many people do you got to eradicate a day to get down to that in whatever amount of time? Like, if you wanted to get that done, I'm not doing the math. I'm just saying that could be something like 300,000 people eradicated a day if you wanted to get it done in a certain amount of time, like timely fashion. Can you imagine killing off that much of the world? And that's what they want to do. Satan is going to take a lot of people with him before he goes, especially if they accept the mark of the beast. I mean, we could say at least a fourth of the people are going to go straight on with the devil before Jesus even comes back. Like, it's done. I don't know about the 144,000 remnant. I don't have a specific opinion one way or the other, whether it's exactly 144,000 people or not. But if it is, please pray. Pray to be part of that remnant and to protect it. I'm calling us the remnant because there's so few of us already, but I don't know that we are the remnant. Yeah, as Rockman says, science is real. Believe it without question. Evolution, schmevolution. So, a cool person on my Discord, this is why I like Discord. I had somebody be very condescending to me today about joining my Discord when we were disagreeing about this guy that was on Red Pill the other night, but because this person disagreed, they were very patronizing, condescending about the Discord channel and why would they ever want to come on Discord, quote unquote. And this is why, because people send me great stuff that I've never seen before. Now, this is kind of hard to see because it's so small of writing. Unfortunately, you can buy these posters from this guy, but they're like $38. So I'm not going to spend $38, but I can get a magnifying glass, maybe even print this off on a couple pieces of paper and be able to read it, because it's very interesting. This is not the only map that this guy has. He has many maps. He's the Q map guy. He made the Q map. The only problem I have with this guy that I would let you guys be wary of, and you're saying what guy? Well, it's deepstatemappingproject.com. The only thing I'd be wary of is he's not a Christian, and he believes in interplanetary aliens. He believes in multiple deities coming down to Earth, like the whole Sumerian myth and all that stuff. and he believes in interplanetary aliens. And so I'm just letting you know that you can still look at this stuff. There's no reason not to look at this stuff. Dylan Lewis Monroe, yeah, the Deep State Mapping Project. It's okay. These are great maps. They're really fantastic maps. I'm very impressed with the work that this guy has done. He explains himself. I think he was like a fashion designer at one point or something. But the cool thing is they're phenomenal maps. And he has a healthcare one that I wouldn't mind having. I think there's just several. There's probably like 8 now. 8 or 9, 10 maybe different ones. Very good put together stuff. I've always thought like I need it laid out in front of me. That's why I have a whiteboard. And this guy's got like just the multitude of just amazing stuff. And then there was another one, let's see, it was deepstatemapping.com, right? Deep State Mapping. He had one that showed you how to put in chronological order. And I was like, oh, that helps a lot, because otherwise, oh, I don't know. I guess I have the wrong. Let's go back. Deep State Mapping Project. Deep State Mapping. Deep State Mapping Project.com. Anyway, it looks like a mess, and like, where do I even start reading something like this? Where do I even start looking at this sort of thing on this map? And he had one, oh, when I searched, it wasn't on here. I did a search, and he showed to read like 1, 2, like 1, 2. Let me just click on this so it's bigger. I remember how he did it, so I'll just tell you. He said to read it 1, like in this direction, and then 2 in this direction, where in the middle it just kind of was like 3, 3, 3, and then like just reading down and out. Middle, like down, middle to the outside. That's the order that you would just kind of look at this chronologically of happenings and stuff that this guy's mapped. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. This is like the Q map, right? I mean, this is the Q map that people talk about all the time. Yeah, I want to zoom in on that. And basically saying start up here, then come into here. Start over here next, and then come back in. And then go down and look out, down and out, down and out. So that's kind of cool. I'll get out of this one because I want to look at the other ones real quick. So this one's colored map, and he's going to have a key of what is colored. Key. It's hard to read. Like I said, you can't just copy and paste these things because you just won't be able to read it. But false flags, geo-warfare, Trump era, MK Ultra, fascism, ETs, pre-modern antiquity. So again, remember, he's not a Christian. That doesn't mean he hasn't done just an amazing amount of work with these maps. Just a phenomenal amount of work that he's put together with these maps. I couldn't even begin to do this. This one is the one I really want. Pray for me. Pray for me. I can find something about this online, but you can't. I got it bigger earlier. Yeah, I can't get it bigger now. Let's see. Yeah, this is about as big as I can get it. But you see, you can't read any of this stuff down here at all. Like, you're just unable to do that. But I'm not going to even begin to tell you why this map was put together. He did a talk. The problem is I have a hard time continuing to listen to somebody who continues to say things like, I believe multiple deities came down. I believe in interplanetary aliens. I believe in blah, 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 blah. Well, he talks about the Kabbalah stuff, but he says he doesn't even have a lot of, his mind is totally organized in a different way than mine. So what I'm saying is these maps are put together well in such a way that you could take from what you could take from it what you want. Because even listening to him, I went to this and it mentions so much stuff that I talk about, and it puts it into a kind of timeline of understanding. And he mentions the magnetic universe and all these things. So he's mentioning good stuff that I talk about and agree with. He talks about the acoustic stuff. Here's wind, geological. He's got labels for everything. Energy systems and Tesla stuff. Psychic telepathy. He's going to obviously probably put stuff in there about the airwaves, DARPA. There it is. the Atlanteans, there's Tesla, yeah. Uranium, nuclear, torsion, vacuum, quantum, plasma. I mean, wow, 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 wow. Radio, electrical, crystal, magnetic, pyramid, obelisk, nanotechnology, and I can't read this stuff in here. Stargate. It's just phenomenal, like, just phenomenal. So, I'm just saying, I like it. I like what this guy's put together. And not everybody's going to be a Christian, and they're still going to do some great work for this. Oh, this is the one, the healthcare one. Not everyone's going to be a Christian. They're going to do great work still for this thing. So I really have no opinion about magnetic Earth because I'm still trying to figure out what it is. This is great. He's got Big Pharma on the left, holistic medicine on the right for all these things. Now, of course, you go down here and it's got this Zen Buddha looking dude. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell you guys to follow anything like that. We got to take what we can from it. So he's an intelligent person. He's put together some really intelligent stuff. And he's gone down with all these diseases down the center of it. And the I think the red might be, oh, I can't even read that. Anyway, it looks like it goes into like different causes and effects and different treatments even. So he's going to point to these things like chakra and Om. That doesn't mean you need to. That doesn't mean these things won't work either, guys, okay? But pray about it. You should always pray about these things. You don't have, like Zen Garcia says, don't believe anything I say. You pray about these things and you go on the way you want to go on about it. And the Sumerian text could have been fallen angels, but the Sumerian myth is that they were gods that came to take gold from the planet Earth and try to send it back up to their Earth by way of putting it into the air, which sounds a lot like Orm. And yeah, so, and if you go back to the video Cowboys and Aliens that Closure and I did, then you're seeing basically that exact thing, right? We're seeing that Sumerian myth. The myth is it was gods coming from another planet trying to take our gold, but the fact is it could have been fallen angels. I believe it's definitely something was going on. So lots of kind of fun and interesting stuff coming. I feel like I have a deep dig coming. I know they're coming further and farther in between, and I think that's for a reason because I'm going to be doing this Convention of States thing, and I really need to get into learning that. But I was thinking, there's a couple of reports that it's Brittany Murphy's like 10th anniversary of her death or whatever, how many years it's been, and I forgot that her husband died right after. And if you look at the way she died, she had anemia and pneumonia, but anemia was one of the things they're trying to say she died from, but she also had multiple heavy metals in her system. And then 6 months later, her husband dies of the same things, anemia and pneumonia. So he didn't get it from her, and pneumonia is not even really contractable. But, and I'm sorry, I stay 12 of my cold, so I'm sniffling and snorting, and I'm sorry. Anyway, it makes me wonder, was like a blood ritual going on? Because if they're iron bloods, then they're going to need to be anemic. Anyway, this is something I'm thinking about, some kind of demonic possession that they're trying to do to these guys by making them anemic, or who knows. Might look into that. And then Zen Garcia and I are going to be recording again a week from tomorrow, and I got a lot of flat Earth questions to ask him. And I really just, that's what I want to talk to him about mainly. And a lot of you guys might already know how you feel about that. A lot of you might totally disbelieve it's flat or totally disbelieve it's globe, but I'm on the fence completely. I don't have an opinion. And I'd like to ask a lot of those questions that I have, because I'm not there. I don't have an official opinion about it. So, and I got 2 spots left on that raffle. So Fiji, what is it? The Fiji, iguana. 2 spots left, and then I've got a Trump bumper sticker, a Trump 45 bullet that's not silver, and another Trump coin that I want to raffle off next. So all 3 together, the Trump bumper sticker with the Trump 45 silver bullet and the Trump coin. So I want to raffle those off together. So once this fills up with my iguana, we'll move on to that. I'm going to pray. Lord, Father in heaven, we glorify your holy, holy, holy name. And I thank you that you put on my heart deeply not to take your name in vain, as I have even recently done so, but I have repented from it and you have forgiven me. And I'm so grateful for that love and forgiveness and the mighty grace that you have for us, and that desire to rectify this relationship, to reconcile this relationship. We are so blessed. So thank you, Jesus Christ, for this life. Thank you for Christmas. We thank you for our families, and we want to give all glory to you, Jesus, on Christmas. These presents are completely secondary, and we thank you for another year with our families on this earth to glorify your holy, holy name, Jesus Christ. We pray only in your name. Amen. Okay, I've got 2 spots left, and Light of Jesus wants 1, so that means I've got 1 spot left. So there we have it. I'll put you in right now, and I appreciate that. That raffle will probably be closed before the night is out. So Fiji Iguana, that's on the Fiji Iguana, right? Light of Jesus? Or are you talking about the next one coming with Trump? Because I don't want to get you on the wrong thing and have you unhappy with me. So I'll put you on here for now. If this is not the one you mean, then just tell me that and I'll take it off. Otherwise, it's $5. And yeah, 1 spot left. I appreciate you guys, and I love you. You know how to reach me. I have email, ladyliberty@countermail.com. These are all in the description box below my video. I have my other backups, even including a backup on YouTube. I have a BitChute, I have a Live, I have a Brighteon, and I have my website now. So all those are there. I even have a Facebook and a Twitter. So if you are like, I don't know how to get a hold of you, which was the complaint of somebody today, that I'm not easy to talk to or to reach out to. I'm not easy to reach out to have conversations. That's not true. There's so many ways to get a hold of me. I have my own phone number on my website, my own phone number on my gold and silver website, and on my website. I am very easy to reach. So that's not a good excuse. Let me know if you guys want to reach me for any reason. If you want to come to me because you have a problem with something I've said, please do so in humility, because I guarantee anyone would listen so much better. Yes, you can have both spots. Absolutely. Thank you for closing the raffle. I appreciate that. But please come in humility, which is what I have to do too. Whenever anybody says, you need to do this, you need to do that, you didn't listen to the whole thing, you can't use that discernment that you say you have, then that's just not fair. It's not right. And I'm going to raffle this since it's closed real quick, but it's not right to come to me and tell me what I need to do. It's right to come to me and say, oh, and by the way, don't decide that whatever I said to you means that everything else I've ever said before then or after will be wrong. I hate that happens too. That's exactly what happened today. It's only one person, so I'm not dwelling on it. I'm just trying to explain to you guys and use this as an example that you don't need to do that. If there's something I said that upsets you, just come to me like you would if you had done it yourself. And that's how we'll be able to have a great conversation. And if I agree with you, I'll apologize publicly. And if you only need the apology for you, that's fine. But sometimes I apologize publicly because I probably upset somebody else with a particular comment or thing I said. So if I agree, that's what I'll do. And if I don't, I'll say I appreciate that. I'm going to think about that. And I don't even need to tell you I don't agree, right? So I just want you guys to know that that's how much I love you guys and care about you. That's how I want us to deal with these things. I want us to deal with these things in a way where we're not offended and mad at each other. We're just simply able to come to each other, and we are able to say, that bothered me what you said, and I want to tell you why. But if you could refrain from you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh, and I'm sorry, my nose is so stuffed. Okay, well, we'll pray for you. And any way you need, you go ahead and email me. All right, I'm going to raffle this really quick because it just filled up like that. And Susan is blowing it out of the water because she bought almost all the spots. Well, she bought more than half the spots. One more than half. So good luck to all of you, though, because it still may not be her. But she's got a lot of good chances here. So, number 10. I think that's her. It's Susan! Yay, Susan! Okay. So with that, guys, I'll let you get on with the rest of your night. Know that I love you. And I really appreciate you guys so much. So God bless you. Have a peaceful night. Have a Merry Christmas. And I just wish the peace of the Lord, the peace and the love of the Lord on all of you. So good night.